Good evening, friends, and welcome to Cosmic Connections. And oh goodness, did I add everything? I think I did. Well, in any case, um, tonight we are celebrating the first quarter square. And the first quarter square is asking us to get very serious about grounding our intention, which we made last week. And then we're moving to the next week of the full moon. So we are going to take a look at that in our chart. We're going to look at Libra 11, actually. And so happy Canada Day to the Canadian friends who are listening, and also happy Independence Day to be continued on July 4th. Many of you probably are getting ready for the long holiday weekend with July 4th being on a Friday. But keep in mind that this particular holiday, this particular year, is under the lunation of the first quarter square. So it's motivating us the entire week, as it were, up until Gibbous, actually, which takes place on Tuesday. So this entire week ahead is about balancing. It's about taking action to create a lack of conflict around us, and really making an awareness of all the beautiful Libra traits: beauty, socializing, balancing, forgiving, all those wonderful Libra words. All right. And being in your heart and in your head as you open up your mouth, and your words and your vibration are designed to heal and balance. Hi, Diane. Hi, Nancy. I see we have a lot of folks gathering here. So happy Wednesday. Let's bring the Sabian symbol and the charts into our stage. And for those of you who are new, this is Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. We do this every Wednesday evening around 8:30. We talk a little bit about the astrology of the week, and then I'll be doing some spiritual messages. And just a big shout out of thanks and appreciation to the good people at Lilydale Assembly. Last week was a very busy week. I did a class on the Neptune-Saturn conjunction in Aries, which we'll be talking a little bit about Neptune. It's relevant for this week. And two versions of the same topic on last Thursday was very successful in every way. And also Fellowships of the Spirit. Big thanks to Mark and Angie and Kat and all the people involved with the beautiful fellowships, because we did a class on the ABCs of astrology. So thank you for attending. And speaking of attendance, please check out the beautiful offerings at the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, your one-stop stop for astrological knowledge and wisdom. So here we have it, friends. This is the lunation for today. And the Sabian symbol is miners are surfacing from a deep coal mine. And so the message is extraction. Extraction. How we want to work with this is find where 11 degrees of Libra falls in your chart. This is especially pertinent for the Libras, the Libra moons, and the Libra risers. What is being extracted from below the surface is a very Plutonian type of image, very psychological, very metaphysical. The idea here, we're wanting to extract from the deepest parts of our soul some new knowledge that's designed to give us balance. Again, that's the degree of 11 degrees of Libra. That's a symbol. So in our look-see here, in our charts, a little hard to see. We still have Saturn, Neptune floating around, and they'll be dancing through Aries for the greater part of the next 9 months. And we also have Ceres in its wake. Ceres, the goddess of the grain, of food, is opposite the moon. The moon is appetites. The moon is security. The moon is home, domesticity. That's kind of appropriate. as this lunation on the 2nd of July is sandwiched between Canada Day and the 4th of July, which are often big eating and gathering holidays. So as we march to July 4th, I can imagine that many of you are thinking about food. I mean, Sirius is food, right? Sirius is about nutrition, but it's opposite the moon. Consider for any holiday gathering, what can you ingest that's going to give you balance? How can you avoid overeating? How can you create a beautiful atmosphere without overdoing it? So that's one message of this lunation. Number 2, we've got Pluto hanging out with the Mercury in the sky. That is a very significant aspect. Mercury is about depth psychology when it's talking to Pluto, and even our Sabian symbol is implying the same. So some of us might be doing some serious soul searching this week, trying to figure out, what is it that I truly love to do? How am I being aided or abetted by the people in my life to fulfill my creative dreams? So some of those questions might come up for you this week. And we also have this lovely interplay between Juno and Venus conjunct Uranus. We all know what Uranus is: unexpected changes, prickliness, and Venus is in sensual Taurus, conjunct Uranus. There may be some thoughts, even in the best of relationships, because Venus is love and money, that this great thing that I have, money or relationship, could change, could suddenly change. Now, no worries. We'll talk about a little bit, at least, about Uranus going into Gemini, but that people may be feeling a little prickly with their loved ones this week. A little back and forth, a little misunderstanding, miscommunication. So don't be too put out if that happens to you. Hi, Diane. Hi, Candy. Thank you for your good wishes. I intend to. And with the family, we'll have some good times. Hi, Terry. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Sue. Oh my gosh. That's like literal, right? Sue is talking about literally extraction with 1 or 2 teeth, right? Amazing. And he's Libra. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Angie. I was just talking about you. Are you psychic? Did you hear me? Thank you so much for your beautiful leadership and guidance in this community, vis-a-vis everything you do, especially the Fellowships of the Spirit. I was singing your praises, my dear Angie. Hi, Christine. Hi, Marianne. Hello, Gabriella. See, we get to see you twice in one day. All right, Cynthia. Hi, Donna. Hi, Talisa. Good evening. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Angie DeMorgan from Chicago. Hello. Big hugs to you guys. How are you celebrating this week? If you are indeed celebrating the 4th of July. And again, because this chart is indicating that extraction symbol of going deep within, A, and B, Ceres is opposite the moon. Are you planning any menus? Are you bringing a dish? Are you trying to think in terms of healthy eating, in spite that this holiday period, like many holidays, is an excuse to transgress your healthy eating habits? I, for one, am going to try to keep to my healthy eating habits. Roasted asparagus is what I'm going to be bringing to the party. We'll see how that goes. All right. Hi, Jojo. Love you too, Angie. Hi, Nancy. I'm going to give you a call tonight if it's not too late, honey. Nancy Smith. Hi, Karen from San Diego. Hello. I am doing well. We just finished up a wonderful mastery class of astrology, and we talked about the nodes. We talked about evolutionary astrology. It was quite a wonderful time. Hi, Lauren. I also owe you a phone call. I hope you're doing well. Lauren was one of our wonderful, beautiful people who attended the ABC's class. So thank you for going to that class, Lauren. You were very welcome to your energy. Hi, Cheryl. You're celebrating a friend's birthday too, Nancy. Fantastic. So again, the idea of food, the idea of nurturance, and the idea of prickliness in relationships, unpredictable behavior, unpredictable words and fears might come up to the surface. So be aware that might not be your unconscious, but your partners might be feeling some of that innuendo or fear that might be coming up this holiday season, this holiday week, I should say, because we usually refer to holiday seasons in December. Anyway, I'm going to give you the horoscope, the Reader's Digest version of this week's lunation. If you're Aries or Aries rising, the emphasis with this lunation is on partnership. It's on balancing your partners and making them feel comfortable. If you're Aries or Aries rising, it's also a time to become a better partner, to use diplomacy and tact and not be your usual spontaneous self, Aries. It's kind of a check, counter check with your relationships. Focus, Aries, on relationships and balancing them. For Taurus or Taurus rising, it's a great week to balance with that lunation your health habits. Your things we all know we should be doing, right? Like eating right and sleeping right and moving right. So you might be rivved up, Taurus, to do those good things for yourself. For Gemini or Gemini rising, this is a great week for you to play. It's activating your play house, your inner child house, your house of romance and creativity. So, break out some new ideas for the holiday and have fun, Gemini. It'll be easier to do so. Be your clever, fun self. For Cancer or Cancer rising, this energy this week for this holiday is relating to home and family. So Cancers might be wanting to be very generous with their friends or family, have a gathering, host a meal. They'll be really focused on bringing harmony within their tribe. For Leo or Leo risers, this is a great week for you to speak your truth and to teach, write, market, whatever you'd like to do that's authentically related to yourself. It's all about you, Leo, and your expression. For Virgo or Virgo rising, look at your finances this week. It's a good time to take an accounting of your income and ways to become more abundant and more successful. All eyes are on the Libra or Libra risers. It has to do, this lunation, with the way you look, how you handle things, about your insecurities. Libra, how you are working to improve your harmony with yourself, not just other people. Libra is often focused on the other person in their lives. But this week is great to focus on beautifying and balancing and calming yourself, Libra. Scorpio, you might want to take a nap between now and the 4th of July because this lunation is activating your spiritual side. So do what you can to get away from everybody and everything. Walk in the woods, walk by the beach, do a little meditation more than normal in your routine. For Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, you may be saying to yourself, well, it's time to get a hold of my friends. Less emphasis on the family, more emphasis on the friends. Again, friends can be the family of the heart. So it's a very active social week for the Saggies. For Capricorn, even though it's a holiday week, you might be thinking about your career. You might be thinking about ways to enhance your job and promote yourself in the outer world. For Aquarius, this particular week is very good for you to do anything regarding expansion of yourself, which that can include travel, not limited to travel. It could also include reading or learning something new, maybe even teaching something new, Aquarius. Our beautiful Pisces friends, this is a transformative week of going deep inside of you psychologically and spiritually and making some changes within so you don't feel like you're doing everything in life by yourself, but tapping into your inner drive and your inner power for that. Okay, even though we do have the lunation today until the full moon, this is a sneak preview. Okay. So we have the full moon. Oh, I'll be talking about this at length next week. But the full moon will be on the 10th, Thursday, the 10th of July, and it takes place at 4:37 p.m. and it's activating Capricorn in our charts. And this is a time of acute, accelerated growth next week where you find Capricorn. So that's a sneak preview. I'll talk about that with more clarity next Wednesday on the 9th. But there's two cosmic alerts I want to alert you for. So on Saturday, the 4th of July, we have Neptune going retrograde. That's at 5:34 p.m. That's right around, for many people, dinner time. When Neptune goes retrograde, it's a fantastic time for us to go within and to explore our own inner imagination, spirituality, psychic abilities. So even though it's a very woohoo, yahoo holiday, spend some time, especially after 5 o'clock on the 4th of July, reflecting on things you want to accomplish using your imagination and or your spirituality. So that's one cosmic alert. The second one takes place on early Monday, July 7th. I've been talking about this event. Every astrologer on the planet has been talking about this event. It's the ingress of Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini. First time in 84 years. Whoa. What's Gemini? Gemini is everyday reality, habit patterns, communication, computers. What's Uranus? Technology, UFOs, science, things that are outside of the pale. So we're starting a new 7-year cycle by which we have a merging of new technology with our everyday reality. Naturally, what comes to mind is AI. So this is a sneak preview. On August 9th, I'm hosting a class at Fellowships of the Spirit, which I mentioned a few moments ago, that goes and does a deep dive on AI and spirituality. Please check that out at Fellowships of the Spirit. One of many things I'll be doing regarding AI and spirituality in the next 7 years. But it's here, friends. We have a new merging of consciousness. Well, there you have it. I'm going to do some spiritual messages now. So please sit back, relax. I pick 2 people randomly and tune in. Okay, big hugs to everybody here. Hi, Marilyn. Hey, Ryan. Yes. Oh, Ryan, let everyone give a big hug to Ryan. You are going to find romance, my friend. I just know it. Okay. Yes, Lauren, and you're focusing on the future. Fabulous. Hi, Laura Briggs. Nice to see you. Woohoo! Second house, Capricorn. That means financial success. Hi, Diane. Great to see you. Give my love to your whole family. Hello, Sajana Fuentes from Austria. Great to see you. Julie, nice to see you. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for being here. Leo, yay, Leo, Cindy, thanks for being here. Hi, Lindsay, happy 4th of July to you. Hello, dear Gail. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Rodney. Great to see you guys. Cheryl and Paula and Lauren, fabulous. All right, let's do some spiritual messages, my dear friends. Sit back, relax, and I'll say my prayer. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love, light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest, for the best, as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. And I am with Barbara Belger from New Zealand. Hi, Barb. May I tune in to you, please? Just give you a little quick meet and greet message. If you say no, I won't. But I'll just wait for you to say yes or no. Barbara. Okay, you're a Scorpio. Fabulous. My thumb came to you randomly, Barbara. Barbara, as I'm tuning into your energy, I'm very aware of an old dream that you have had in your up close and personal, a dream, a success, a project that you were all excited about implementing. And sometime around April, perhaps late March, you started to readjust that dream and reconsider it. And think of the next week and a half as a time for you to edit your intentions, so that you can restart the same dream, but in a different context. I feel this is a creative or spiritual project for you, by the way, Barbara. Okay. But you might be feeling disappointed in yourself. I thought I wanted to do this, but actually this is not feasible right now. So I have to readjust. Scorpio, my friend, I'm a Scorpio as well, is the sign of desire. So, if you really want to mess up a Scorpio's psyche, tell them they have nothing to hope for. It's kind of conundrum there. But that's the first thing I'm picking up with you, Barbara. The second thing I'm picking up, I'm getting 2 younger men around you. These could be sons, these could be nephews, but they're very vital, they're very alive, and they love their Barbara. They think that you're the best thing in the world. I don't know if you're mentoring them or teaching them, but there's a youthful spirit about you, Barbara. And I've never met you. I have no idea how old you are or anything like this, but I'm seeing these 2 younger men who just adore you and help you. And they're somehow connected to this plan or this goal that you have, which might be something of a pilgrimage as well. The other thing I want to say to you, Barbara, tonight is allow. I'm quoting from a very popular book and author right now, Mel. Let them. There's someone very close to you, like a sister or best friend, who's just been a little crabby and a little negative around you. Let them. Don't worry about them, because you're very good at psychology. You can understand why this person, 2 people around you, 2 females, are just grappling with their own insecurities. I'll leave that with many blessings for you, Barbara, tonight. Oh, your 2 sons. Okay. You have 2 sons. Didn't know that. Isn't that cool? Well, those sons of yours are blessings. They adore their mom, and they keep you young. I have no idea how old you are, how old they are, but these are great, great, great energy around you. You just adore them. So many blessings. Thank you for popping in here tonight, Barbara. We'll do another little read here. Okay, I'm with Jody Nichols Harvey. Hello. You're always here in the background. I'm with you in the foreground tonight, Jody. Thanks for being here. Jody, as I'm tuning into your energy, I'm getting really excited for the summer for you. I want to say that this is going to be a summer like no other. You're not going to be burdened with the excess work that you always do. You're moving into a new direction, and you may find yourself guilty about just hanging out and doing nothing for a large part of the summer. But this is not nothing. This is a time for you to incubate and think about the next creative project you want to do. I'm also seeing a lot more travel just in general, and more specifically at the end of September, first part of September, and also in November. It's like we jump a couple of months and there's some bigger trips that you're going to be taking. The other thing I'm picking up here is the grandmother who used to sew. She used to sew for fun. And towards the end of her life, she would sew and darn, and she loved sewing until her eyes became a little weaker. You could always count on her to create things with her sewing. And then I think she had these big knitting needles as well. But she's coming in and she's saying it's always good to have a good pastime that's meditative. Now, that was not a word she would have used 40 years ago, but she's saying, whatever that is for you, find a pastime that is meditative. That's like reading, but not reading. I'm not sure why she's saying it this way. It's like reading, but not reading. I'll leave that with many blessings for you, dear Jody. Happy 4th of July. All right, friends. That's all she wrote for tonight. I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday. If you are in this country and celebrating United States of America, I hope you please check out the offerings at the CIA, Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and consider coming to one of my classes, or at very least consider in my newsletter. It's just CassandraJoanButler.com, and I do musings all the time talking about things. Many blessings. Love you guys. Have a great holiday. Good night. Thanks for coming.